what is AI-driven pricing and why would retailers want to use it?
The technical name is algorithm-driven pricing. Since many years ago, dynamic pricing have been driven by different algorithms. I would probably say that the main differences is that now there are artificial intelligence models that make the process different, easier to process, giving some challenges as well, because one of the caveats of artificial intelligence explainability, trying to explain what the result that you're getting. The idea that these artificial intelligence models work like a black box sometimes not that useful. But algorithmic pricing or algorithm-driven pricing has been used from a while, from the perspective of pricing optimization, profit maximization, and so forth.
Okay, so I guess it should be obvious the goal is to make more money, maximize your profits. All right, maybe we can make this more concrete then. Do you have any examples of companies where you think they use dynamic pricing or algorithmic pricing very well?
I mean, there are many different cases. Hotels, for example, use different models. In this case, capacity-based pricing. As you know, the hotel have a definite number of rooms that they have to sell in a given day. After that day is over, the price of that room is not. I mean, you can't resell it because it's just the day is gone. So then you have to maximize the occupation and trying to maximize the profit for a given capacity. So that's when you probably see different price tiers of, for hotel rooms. That's where you see price changes by the day, sometimes by the hours in the hotels. There are many different variables into play, like, for example, the occupancy, the demand for a particular day. In some cases, there are weather or external events that are taken into an account, like, for example, a concert or a conference or a convention or something that is happening at this particular day that will influence the price. All these parameters are what are driving the algorithm and setting the price for the hotel. Another example will be airlines. The airline pricing is another type of pricing, dynamic as well, where the prices of seats change by the day, by the hour. Sometimes, every few minutes they refresh their prices based on a number of variables like capacity, again, contextual variables such as the environment, such as events that are happening across the routes, across the different locations. So that's another example. We are very familiar with Uber and Lyft, transportation. So that's another example of dynamic pricing, where in this case, the technical name of that price is called surge pricing, where prices change depending on the availability of drivers and riders, and they're being fixed also by the location and also by events that are happening during that particular time. For example, if there is traffic, if there is a weather event, if there is something happening like increasing demand, the prices will change according to these variables. Then you have online pricing. Like Amazon still is a very great example of how prices are being adjusted every 10 minutes based on different variables. It could be based on competition. It could be based on demand. It could be based on many different factors that could affect, the price that you're looking into it. And now, one of the latest things that's been happening is dynamic pricing in physical stores, which is a challenging thing to do. So imagine a grocery store where prices change based on different variables. There are many isolated events of stores doing this, like, for example, ice cream prices during hot or very cold weather, where they can be changed a few times a day. The price of produce, for example, as well. But nothing at the major scale. I think this is one of the holy grails, trying to find out how you can implement dynamic pricing in physical stores in a way that it will benefit both consumers and retailers. You probably heard about the case of Wendy's and the introduction of dynamic pricing, which it didn't go well. That is actually was bad up to the point that that had to be pulled back from the launch. And one of the reasons was because, in my opinion, because it was not very well communicated to consumers. When this dynamic pricing approach was more about reducing the price based on different variables, but consumers understood that they will increase the price based on different variables. You know what I mean? And there is a difference between just increasing and decreasing prices in terms of perception, of course, from the consumer point of view. Now you have dynamic pricing at theme parks. For example, Disney is applying that with it was a program called Genie Plus that now has a different name, where Genie Pass is kind of a fast pass where you can just, get into your ride, quicker, and you can also plan where to go to your rides. But that have an extra cost, and the price of the ride for this fast passes changes depending on the demand, depending on many different factors. Lately, there is an approach where some restaurants are trying to implement dynamic pricing in the restaurant too, meaning the price of the dishes will change based on different variables throughout the day.